Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining us on another Q&A session. We had a very positive response for our first live stream, so we have decided to follow up with a part 2 of the final rites and rituals explained. Please put any questions or comments or any other suggestions that you have in the live chat section. Jaydevbhai has generously offered his time to answer more questions, so over to you. Thank you.
Namaste viewers. It was really nice to be again on this platform and start discussing. If we try to understand all scriptures, one of the most important, and you can say it's difficult as well, the scripture's name is Brahma Sutra. And in the Brahma Sutra, the first it has written, Athado Brahm Jignasa, that there must be a thirst to know about it, to know something, to know about something. And here, at least, I'm really thankful to the Ishwarlal family. They have took an initiative for the interest and for the benefit of the community at large. So we did start in last session, and we have discussed but the introduction of the death ceremony, and I tried to explain you, in fact, why should we do this and that. And there are still a lot more questions and a lot more to say. So I'll try today to address which we could not, I could not address last session. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, then we have discussed about the pind, and now I think we should start. The next question is and was, please outline the Garud Puran. As customary, we know that normally when somebody dies in our house, in our family, we do read Garud Puran. And in the Garud Puran, there are so many things described about all the difficulties one has to go. That basically is, as I explained last time, our sages, by any way, they wanted the soul, all the individual, all the person or the human to go towards God. So the ultimate idea is and was that it should be a merging of individual soul to the supreme soul or to the universal soul. So everybody may not understand the knowledge. So if not, then show them some fear. And that's how all that Narak and hell and this and that has described. Okay. Now let us try to understand the word Garud. Garud is bird. Not only a bird, it's a vehicle of Lord Vishnu. And last time, if you remember, that when it comes to death ceremony, the final authority is Lord Vishnu, the final authority. And Garud, or the eagle, Garud in English it is known as eagle, is the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. It signifies the inspiration, releases from bondage, and it signifies the victory also. So that also we need to understand. Okay. So whole idea is we have to release the bondage. By reading that Garud Puran, we want that soul, the departed soul, should release all kind of bondage. That is Garud Puran. That is the Garud. Now, It is said that the Garud or the eagle flies alone. This is not proud of eagle. That does not symbolize the proud of eagle, but it's a fearlessness. How that fearlessness has came? I am the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. So why should I worry? Lord Vishnu is with me. The same thing should be with us. I'm not alone. The supreme reality is with me. That's our sages has told indwelling God. He's always with me. So why should I have any kind of fear? Besides that, as I told you, eagle flies alone. It symbolizes that one has to go alone. In last session, I did explain Dhanani Bhamo Pashvasya Goshte Bharya Gurudware Janasmasane Dehaschitayam Parloka Marge Karvano Gogachati Jivaika. What is going to accompany you? Only the karma. Just bear with me. When I say you means we. I am not separate. I am part of you. So what is coming with us? The karma. So we have to go alone. But the thing is that I am going to my Bhagwan's house. My Bhagwan is always with me. So one must not keep all kind of fear in his or her mind. Yes. In scripture, it has been described different kind of hells. In fact, 28, 28 Jatna Narak, 28 kind of Narak has been described. After having this session, I got one question that once the human dies, and of course we Hindu definitely believe in rebirth. So what it happens? That is he or she going to have the rebirth in form of human or the animal? It's very good question, but I'll have to utter few lines in Gujarati, and I'll try to translate that. What it calls, Manas mari jai to manas જ થાય કે. Yes, manas mare to. The important thing is manas mare to. Meaning, we have been blessed the human body, and during the whole life, if we do not act as human, if we do not behave as human, and if we act and behave like an animal, then we need to know what kind of the next birth will be. Not necessarily, that's why I explained last time, not by having two legs we are human. We have that kind of quality. We have to focus on that qualities. And then if you live whole life, then definitely the next birth is human birth. And if we have not honored that human body, then what's going to happen? Then one has to be like an animal. So these are the things. So માણસ મરે તો માણસ થાય, પણ માણસ થઈને આવીને એ જો પશુ જેવું જીવતો હોય તો એનો બીજો જન્મ પશુમાં આવે. Right. Next question is, what is Godan? Go means cow. Dan means to donate. For us, cow is not an ordinary animal or cattle. We respect cow as a mother, a holy animal. And on the tail of cow, all gods stay. Technically, philosophically, I am not allowed to use the word all God. God is one. But I mean, in our belief, we have the Ganpati and then Mataji and Jalaram Bappa and Ram and Krishna. In that context, I'm using that word. So, to do the puja, worshipping cow, right? It will lead us on the good path, on the righteous path, on the right path. That is the Godan. That is the Godan. And that not only helps the departed soul, that helps the whole family also. That's the Godan. The next question was, why do Hindus perform cremation? Okay, look, since it's going on, since this is on public domain, please do not misunderstand me. But look at this cremation, the practical point of view, cremation. We if we have certain area of land, then we done. Because the same place that thousands and hundreds of body can be cremated. And if you go on the grave, the way it is going, then we won't have that enough place to accommodate that. That is practical point of view. And as I told you last time, that our scripture, and then besides that, the sages, they had the reason. Okay? And symbolically, if we say that, okay, that five elements, the body is made by the five elements. And ultimately it has to merge in that five elements. Okay. And the whole idea that we do not want to keep the bondage all the time. And that's why we have that 12th day or 13 days. And then we do the verse and then it's done. Then our sages, they have full knowledge of psychology. So they know that human is going to forget, and it's in interest of all. So they have designated 15 days in the Shraddha. You remember about that, the deeds, what your parent has done. Remember them. Do the good service, good action, and carry on your life. So that is also most important thing. The cremation is that is our most practical solution. And ultimately, one has to merge in that. So that's why the cremation, what we do. Okay. What is the importance of the funeral service? Funeral service, if I understood correct the question, then look, whether we want or not, but there are certain rituals, one after the another, the 10th day or the 12th day or the 11th day, whatever the service is. And in fact, we are having that all that paid service nowadays. Otherwise, we used to have all the community members, they used to get everything, the cremation center and everything gets ready. So it's an involvement to that family from the community that we are with you. Which deity is invoked in perpetuity at the cremation site? No particular deity on the cremation site. Okay, Lord Zeus, he stays in Smasan. In crematorium, it is written in the scripture. And all the time, the final prayer when it comes to death ceremony, as I told you last time, is Bhagwan Vishnu. Okay. Why is gold placed at certain points on the corpse? Look, it has been very clearly I have explained last time what accompanies only the karma, nothing else. Then is the gold going with? Definitely not. Definitely not. Then why are we doing? In those days and in today's time also, the precious metal, although most, of course, now you can say that the uranium or anything are most costlier than that. You can say that, yeah. But the gold is most costly metal, you can say. Unfortunately, if we don't compare something with material thing, then we won't be able to understand. So that's how I start with that cost wise, that costly metal. The whole idea behind that, even when we cut the pin to merge with the ancestor, we normally use that gold wire or the chain. Okay, the whole idea behind that, I must do the best for my father or for my mother because he has spent whole life for me, for my progress, for my better life. So what maximum I can do? I can do that. At least the pin I can cut. At least at certain point I can place the gold. That is more important thing to understand. Why is weeping, wailing, and excessive outpouring of grief discouraged during the time? If you remember, last time I told that according to a scripture, death is not an inauspicious thing or event in one's life because it is certain that one has to leave this world, if not today, tomorrow. In scripture it is written, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. One must remember that birth will be there, and the moment birth will be there, death will be there. Janma Mrityu Jara. Jara means old age. There will be old age in one's life. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Vyadhi, this is the body will have some sort of disease. Dukkha, Jivanma Dukkha Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. Dukh will come. It's a part of life. Part of life. So it is written in the scripture that the soul should release the bondage. The more we keep on weeping, crying, it disturbed its further journey. the journey towards the next birth, or the journey with merging Almighty. In fact, in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna has told, Mrityu sarvascharam udbhavascha bhavishyatam. 34th verse of 10th chapter. 10th chapter is known as Divine Manifestation. Bhagavan Krishna has told, I am everywhere. Even in the Mrityu, in the death, that's my manifestation. That's my manifestation. I'm there. I'm always there. So, of course, the bondage which we have for years together, for decades together, and all of a sudden that is disconnected, and the person who has left will never ever be able to see him or her in future. That is painful, and that's why that's why we cry. But the scriptures, the sages has told that not too much. Of course, with that we know that it's not possible, but we have to try to understand this. जाने चले जाते हैं कहाँ दुनिया से जाने वाले जाने चले जाते हैं कहाँ. Unfortunately, we don't we don't know the website www.yamraj.com, nothing like that, and they don't have the email, and there is no WhatsApp there, so we can know. But that's a reality. That's a reality. And practical point of view, if that the death is not there in the life and in that family, okay, just let us think about that we are in the once upon a time we are in joint family. So in joint family we are, if today's time, if there is a joint family, there are maybe 10, 12. But if there is no death in if there is no death in the family and everybody is living for years together, then what's going to happen? If somebody will come and ask, who is this old man who's sitting on this corner? So the young child or young boy, 12, 15 years old, 18 years old, will say, I don't know really, but maybe he is my 30th generation grandfather, great grandfather. So that's, I mean, as I told you, that's why I discourage that let the soul go. Let us go. And it's very clearly written there. Tad dhama paramamama. Yad gatva nanivartande. Tad dhama paramamama. It's going to have the rebirth or it's going to merge with me. So we don't have to keep on crying all the time for that. Of course, we must remember them. We must have, with which I have started last time, sense of gratitude. That's definitely for that. Should be there. Why is salt used as a gift in the Sraddha, Puja, and in the Siddha? Okay. The question who has written, I think it's Hemlata. Hemlata, the correct word is Siddha, Sedha, not Siddha. Okay, right. You can correct it from your side when you write again. Salt. Okay. In fact, not only salt. There are plenty things, plenty items described in the books that what should be given as a donation to the Brahman. And if the Brahman start putting that as a list, this, and then people will say, oh man, He's greedy. And that's why normally, especially in South Africa, we do not put anything. But Sidhu means all all kind of grocery, including marcha and masala and spice and everything. Why that? I'd like to explain that. Not only salt, all the thing. Why that I like to explain. Those who are the viewer, those who are from my my Gita class and Bhagavad class, they will recollect it. They will understand. I would like to take you to the Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa and Yamaraja conversation. Somewhere written that Nahi vittena trupyata manushyaha. Because the human will never ever satisfied with the money. If I have 10,000 rand, I'll look for 20,000 rand. If I have 20,000 rand, I'll look for 100,000 rand. If I have 100,000 rand, I'll look for million rand. If I have a million rand, I'll say I want to have $1 million. Then and so on. Person, the human will never ever satisfied with the money. Nahi vittena tarpanayatam marsyaha. It's something like that written in the Kathopanishad. It's a conversation between Nachiketa and Yamaraja. The Siddha food that you give, with the food, person can satisfy. For an example, I eat 3 rotli. I'm not eating 3 rotli, 1 rotli. For an example, if I'm eating 3 rotli in my house, and on the occasion of Srad or some occasion, any occasion, okay, I don't know all the viewers, those who are watching live, me, and those who will be watching after that. But since Iswarlal family has organized this talk, let me use one of the family members' name. For an example, okay, Sunita and Prakash Bhai have invited me for the food for the Srad. Okay, if I am eating 3 rotli daily, and if I'm greedy, I'll eat 6 rotli or 8 rotli. But definitely I cannot eat 80 rotlis or 100 rotlis. With the food, one will have to satisfy. Whereas with the money, never. Never. So not only the salt, all the things, it's written that should be given. Not only salt. Okay. Why do... Okay, before I proceed, let me... The whole idea of the Srad is to do all the rituals with full faith and to remember the departed soul. What they have done for me, remember and be humble and gratitude towards them. That's the whole idea of Srad. Now, the whole Srad ceremony, we have just limited with the death ceremony, but the meaning of Srad is Shraddha Purvak Karvama Averu
It's 5
Smaran.
o'clock.
So what they have done for us, you must remember. So it is for those who are living. We must do something good for them also. Now let me tell from this platform that increasing of old age homes in society is not good for the healthy society. Those who have given the whole life for you, for us, how can we put them in the old age home? How can we do that? Can we do that? So not only when they die, we must do and respect their wishes, their beliefs while they are with us. That we should not forget. Okay. Um, why do the male progeny shave their heads and facial hair and not the females? It's but delicate question, sensitive question, you can say. And since I am on public domain, this will remain on the public domain. Okay, I do not want to go deep in this, but we can always discuss it, but definitely not now. Definitely not now. What is the significance of the practice of touching fire, iron, water on returning from cremation ground? Okay. You know, to sanctify. Why? Because we just believe that soul has gone from this body. So once we touch, we become apavitra. Pavitra means sanctified. Apavitra is it's opposite that. Okay. The water, the Agni is a fire, the gold can sanctify us. That is one thing. But we must keep that in mind. Why that body? Just before a while, that's my mother, my father, we used to do that. And once the soul has gone from the body, it becomes apavitra. Why? Because the Ram has gone. The Ram has gone. Ram has that body. If we expand this theory in our day-to-day practice, if the Ram has gone from my speech, then my speech is also apavitra. And that's why in the Shiv Mahima Stotra it has written, Mamatvetam Vanim Gunakatana Punyena Bhavita. By singing your glory, my speech will be sanctified. It's there. And this stotra I'm taking in my chanting class. So those who are watching from my chanting class, member are familiar with that. Amatvetam vanim gunakatana punyena bhavita. Why do we sit the glory of Lord and bhajan everything? By doing that, our speech will be sanctified. Otherwise, it is apavitra. From my thought, if the Ram is not there, my thoughts are apavitra. If the money, the wealth which I have created, we always say that it's my hard work. No. Due to the Ram was there, the Ram is there, I could able to make some money. On my own, I can never do that. So once we have earned that, and we forget that due to Ram. When I say Ram means Bhagwan, due to Bhagwan, I could manage to do that. Now, if we forget that, our wealth is also apavitra. So not only by returning from the crematorium, we must keep this all the time. Remember that if there is no touch of divinity, if there is no divine touch to my wealth, my body, my thought, my speech, my action, then it is all apavitra. What is the significance? What is the I really could not understand this question. What is the chamai ceremony? If it is 6 months, if you want to say 6 months, then it is then I can then I can tell you something about that. There is no chamai. It's if we go to the book, there are almost nine. It is either 93 or 97 srad during the whole year. During the whole year. So if you consider that every third day we have to do something, and to put everything under one banner, either we do that 1 year prayer, and those who are comfortable to do every month, then they can keep on doing every month. And part of that is the 6 months also. Okay. The question which I had from last week, that is done. Now, Sonali, if anything else, you can tell me. Otherwise, the last week questions are over, and we at most 10 past 5. Should the Garud Puran text be chanting during the 13-day period? Okay. Okay, as with the Srad, we have just limited it with the death ceremony. The same thing has happened with the Garud Puran also. Not necessarily during the 13th day. We can even read before that also and after that also. As in the beginning I told, it signifies the Garud Eagle and inspires us. Release from the bondage and the victory. It gives the inspiration. So the Garud Puran, but unfortunately, it's exactly happened with the Gita also. Most of the people in the society of Gita, we just need to distribute in the memory of my father or my mother or the relative, and then it just collecting the dust, doing nothing. So the same thing has happened with the Garud Puran also. Next. Please explain the concept of Sutak and Gorni. Okay. Sutak. First, I will explain you the traditional meaning, and then I'll take you to the philosophical meaning of Sutak also. Right. Sutak word only by all means is understood for the with the death, related with the death. But according to scripture, is related with the birth and death both. The Sutak with the birth is known as Vruddhi Sutak. Vruddhi means increase. Some member came in our family, newborn baby. So family has been increased. We were 10 people, now it's 11th person has come. Vruddhi Sutak. It's a birth time. And the Sutak which is related with the death is known as Mruta Sutak. Right, now. As I told you last time, as I told you this session also, our sages had a reason and they have deeply studied the human psychology. In human's life, in my life, in your life, in our lives, we are extremely happy. The newborn baby, I am a father now. I am a grandfather now. The grandchild has arrived in my family. It's a joy occasion. It's a happy occasion in my family. So sages has told, okay, at this occasion, if you don't go to mandir, it's fine. If you can't perform the rituals in your diva room, it's fine. Happy occasion. Because they have studied deeply the human psychology. If I have to say in Gujarati, खूब આનંદના પ્રસંગમાં માણસ ભગવાનને કદાચ ભૂલી જાય. ઋષિઓએ જોયેલું કે it's okay for the 10 days, 11 days, fine. Similarly, extremely grief, extremely sorrow that we have lost our beloved in my family. My father has gone, my mother has gone. In those days also, that 10, 12 days, if you can't perform the rituals in your diva room, if you can't go to the mandir, that is fine. That's how the Sutak word has come. But then is by all means, just give me a few seconds, I just taking water. Sorry about that. By all means, we just limited with the death only, which is, it's okay. Which is, I don't say fine, it's okay. It's okay. So the sages has told, extreme happiness, extreme sorrow, it's natural that person is going to forget everything, including God. So it's fine. That 10, 12 days is fine. Now, let's try to understand the word Sutak, philosophical point of view. Su, S-U, means good. Tak means an opportunity. It's a good opportunity for you, I mean for us, but that Bhagwan has given. That I'm a grandfather now, I'm a father now. It's a good opportunity Bhagwan has given. That Bhagwan has trusted me and sent one more child, one more family member in my family. So it's time to remember more and more to God. It has given an opportunity to me by Bhagwan. In the death also, it's a good opportunity because I'm always involved in all worldly material aspect, morning to evening. Sometime I come from work, it's 8:30. When you all know that I'm with the mandir, and sometime I say, come, oh man, Jaydevbhai, by the time we come, we're so tired. We don't want to do anything. So we can't come to the mandir. Sutak, now the person has gone, okay? Now it's time for you. Good opportunity is provided. Remember God. Chant the name of God. Chant the name of God. Okay. In the same question, please explain the concept of Sutak and Gorni. It's not Ghorni, Gorani, Gorni. Anyway, Gorni is basically, it's a customary which is vary to the community and place to place. The whole idea behind it that we just do more and more in the name and in the memory of mother or the departed soul. That's the thing. And in that, then it has come that 5 goni and 11 goni and 13 goni. Absolutely, it has nothing to do with the numbers. Absolutely, it has nothing to do. But at the same token, I would like to say that if that is our tradition, if that is the family tradition, we must not stop it. We must do it. We must do it. Nothing wrong in it. Next, Sonali. Is heaven and hell real? On the light note, I have not seen heaven and not seen the hell. So, but let me tell you, Kishore, is heaven and hell real? It's not as a physical place. If you remember in the same conversation, I did mention that how we live our life, that's heaven. And if we spoil our life, that's a hell. That's a hell. That's a hell. That is there anything physical? It's always a matter of debate and it's always a matter of question. Next, why do poor people have so many children when they cannot afford to look after them or it's their karma? Kiran bhai, you really want me to answer the question? Look, when we come in this world, we are given free will and freedom of karma. So it's individual has to decide in which way to go. And its individual has to think about it. Of course, up to certain extent, it is related with the karma. It is related with the karma. So if according to my karma, if I have troubled my father, he's going to come in my life. That's on the light note. And as my son is going to trouble me. It's a law of karma. Okay. Next. When should the ashes ideally be disposed? Look, according to scripture, as Antavin I was saying that it should be done within 10 days, as early as possible. It is there in the scripture. For our convenience, we keep, and then when we want to go India and dispose it in Ganga, that's a different story. But scripture has told that it should be done as early as possible in 10 days. In 10 days, yeah. So we keep it. That's a different story. Okay, next. Can the soul hear and see after it leaves the body? And for how long? How long? How long until it gets the new birth, new body, right? Rather than new body, and when that's entirely upon his karma, but it's in the subtle form, and that's why our sages has emphasized on the karma. If we have the good karma, then definitely we'll have the the body accordingly, the life accordingly, the next life. And we have done wrong. The body, the next birth will be accordingly. And when it comes to can the soul hear and see, I mean, look, the sound. We have not found that technology, but if not today, it will there. Once the sound is uttered, once the word is uttered, it's there, it's there in the sky. It's definitely there in the ether. It's there. So yes, technically it could be heard. Next, what happens to soul after a suicidal death? Those are known as apamrutyu, untimely death. Untimely death. You know that definitely that according to scripture, what I have heard and I have understood. For an example, the my lifespan is 80 years or 90 years or 70 years or whatever it is. And I say, no, I want to take my life. It's full of pain and misery. Let me die. I died at the age of 60. The 20 years I will have to go through it again in the next birth. That is for the sure. That is for the sure. So even the suicidal death or any death, we definitely believe in rebirth. Rebirth. So rebirth will be there, and then he or she will have to go through that another 20 years or 30 years or whatever it is. But since the topic is on suicidal death, let me elaborate on that. The suicidal. You know, one thing I'll definitely like to tell to my viewers about the suicide. When the child comes in our life, in our house, in our family, from the beginning, that we teach him or her the competition. Apart from that, we as a parent spoil them. And the child will not develop the frustration tolerance in his or her life. In fact, that we need to teach the frustration tolerance. All the time, what is demanded is honored. What is demanded is given. The child must know. The child must get used to hear the word no. That's why in English said, jam yesterday, tomorrow, no jam today. The child must prepare for that, this kind of frustration in his or her life. And then all of a sudden it comes. He or she goes to commit suicide. So as a family, we must keep this. In Gujarati, they very proudly say, Pani magta doodh hajar karo. Oh man, not necessary. Let him struggle. Don't make the child the pot plant. It should be tree from the jungle, in the forest. Survive in any circumstances or any kind of pain. Next, are there more souls than bodies or more bodies than souls? And is the individual soul a part of the one big soul or energy of the universe? Look, we are the part of the Supreme Soul, that is for the sure, right? And Bhagwan has sent us with certain years in this world, and he just wants to see, right, that I have granted 8 years in his life, I have given 20 years in his life, I have given 40 years in his life, and wants to see. For Bhagwan, it's a game. If I am not mistaken, it's in Chandogya Upanishad. Eko ham bahusham prajayeya. Bhagwan, it's just written symbolical that I'm alone, right? Udhare tha. I must become many. Let me manifest in different form. Eko ham bahushaya prajayeya. And for Bhagwan, it's a game. And I always tell in my different classes, okay, we think that, oh man, person died at the young age of 40. All of a sudden, he is no more. But for Bhagwan, it's just a leela, it's just a game. It's just a game. I give you a very practical example. Suppose I have a ball in my hand and I am sitting in my room or in my yard. What I will do, I'll throw that ball to the wall and catch it. Again, I'll throw it, I'll catch it. It's a game for me. But there's some third person who is totally not with this game, will not understand anything, will obviously think that what this gentleman is doing, if he has to throw, why did he catch? If he has catch, why did he throw? But that third person will not understand that it's a game. I'm playing this. I'm playing this. So for the Bhagwan, he sends us, granting couple of decades, couple of years in our lives, and see what my child does. That child who has lived his life nicely, done something good in his or her life. It tried to progress. When I say progress, spiritual progress. When it tried to decrease the distance between the universal soul and individual soul, Bhagavan will be happy. And those, he just all got engaged, involved in all material world. Bhagavan say, yeah, another life, another life, another life. But it is expected that we must try to develop progress toward the spiritual path. Next. Does the soul choose the country and parents where it is going to take its next life form, and why? Look, the standard answer for this, it's all depend on his and her karma. His and her karma. So it totally depend on the karma. So technically, if he has chosen good karma, he will go by that place. And he has chosen bad karma, to go by that place. And it's a law of karma. It's a law of attraction and repulsion. So if I have progressed spiritually in my life, in my this birth, and when I die, right, I must have that kind of parent in my life. So Bhagwan will, according to my karma, decide it. Next. Does having violent death car accident negatively affect the soul on its onward journey? It has nothing to do with the negative effect or the positive effect. As I told you, these are all untimely deaths. These are all untimely deaths. And that whatever left over will have to be will have to go through in the next life. Next. What do you think of the concept of a living will? The decision to not be sustained by life support machinery. Is this free will or is the last breath destined? You know, one thing is definitely sure that our lifespan is written on the breaths, okay, not in years or not in months or days. Breaths. If I have 20, 100,000 or 10,000 breaths in my life, how I use, and accordingly it will give me the result. A life support machine to use or not, of course, I mean, look, our dharma is dynamic. Our dharma is dynamic. So when it comes to life support, under circumstances, I mean, look, everybody would like to see his or her father or mother or beloved. Let's not use the word father or mother, all beloved, and he or she is on the life support machine. The family member will think that okay, his son is coming, his daughter is coming, so and so is coming, and for that concept, one has to uh, carry on with the life support machine for a couple of days or something. That should be okay. But personally, I don't think this kind of thing has been mentioned in any scripture, because when the scripture were written, there was no life support machine on anything. So personally, I mean, if it is if it is not decided, if it is noticed that this body is not going to survive, then that's of course I'm personally saying that then it's nice to, I mean, switch off the machine. It's nice to switch off the machine and let the soul go. Let the soul go. Next, are ghostly bodies real, and when can we do to bring peace to these beings? Look, the ghostly bodies and everything, all the negative energy, that we must keep, that we must, all the negative thoughts, all the negative vibrations. Okay? But yes, the ghostly, what we call the breath, right, is described in the scripture. Basically, not satisfied, and for the next birth, they are still waiting for the new body according to their karma. Okay? And to bring peace to this, look, one thing is definitely when it comes to this kind of thing, Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, I always tell that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, the final authority. Yes. Next, how can we honor our ancestors? Be best honored in a simple way on a daily basis. Okay, daily basis. Look, to remember them and keep on seeking blessing. That is the best way. That is the best way. Because as I told, I think last week or when I was doing the death ceremony at your house, I told that for the santati and sampati. Santati means progeny, sampati means wealth. When I say wealth, not necessarily the money, wealth of behavior, wealth of good thoughts, spiritual wealth, for all kind of thing. Just keep on seeking blessing from the departed soul. That is the best thing we can do. Sonali, only one last question if there is, and otherwise you're going to conclude because I'm already 35 past 5. If it is
I
there,
think I think that's all our questions for today.
okay, okay. Then okay, let me conclude it, and then I'll switch over to, then I'll put it to you, right? Okay, thank you so much, all the viewers, all the listeners. I'm really thankful to all of you. In this session and in the previous session, whatever I have tried to explain you, that whatever I have heard, I have studied, I have read the scripture, I'll try to simplify it and put in front of you according to my best knowledge. I can't say that I know everything. On the light note, I can say I am not MBA. You know, in Gujarati MBA, mane badhu avade. So I am not MBA. So whatever little I know, whatever little I know, try to share with it. In my talk, if I have hurted somebody, it was not intentionally. In the whole conversation of the talk today's and last week, as I told you, whatever I heard, I have read, I have understood, it may be differ with somebody else. Somebody must have interpreted in different manner. So I respect that too. I read, I heard, I studied, so that I try to explain in my ways, in my words. I'm not so powerful in English. There might be plenty grammatical mistakes. Okay, so bear with me in this, or just ignore that. In this whole 2 sessions, whatever you like, try to put in practice and thank to Almighty. Whatever you did not like, then please don't carry the burden. Forget it. Forget it. There is no point to carry burden of these kind of things. Once again, I am humble to all of you. I sincerely thanks to the Ishwarlal family who had provided me this opportunity to interact with you virtually, and anything else you can, instead of writing me or sending message, I uh, emphasize that you directly contact Sonali, and Sonali is going to display her contact number on her channel, because I'm not doing on my own. I am just giving my but time and service to the community, assisting Sonali and the Sonali family. Once again, thank you so much. Over to Sonali.
Thank you so much for everyone joining again and for all your questions for today's live stream. We are most grateful to Jaydevbhai for giving his precious time to us to enlighten us and help us understand better. In future, we hope to have more discussions like these. And if you have any suggestions for topics that you would like to be discussed, please comment them below. We appreciate all the support we have had for this topic so far. And namaste, thank you, Jaydevbhai, again for your time. Please share the link to anyone you know who would like to watch this session. Thank you.